This podcast is brought to you by the Mice Pod. Mice Pod at micechat.com and micepod.com. Micechat.com.
And water was flooding the building, and it was everybody's worst nightmare. You know, you have a $100 million attraction that you can't, and no one can get on. So
greetings, Universal Orlando fans. It's time for the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast with your hosts, Lee, Tracy, and Darren.
Welcome everyone to the episode 61 of the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast, brought to you in association with micechat.com, the Mice Pod, and sponsored by Be Our Guest Destinations. That was quite posh, wasn't it?
You've really just spoilt it at the end there.
Joining me across the room is my good lady wife, who is probably sweating as much as I am at the moment, Tracy.
I don't sweat.
Perspiring.
I was going to say, I perspire gently. Hello.
It is warm.
It's not as warm as
And
it has been.
leaving here to go to warmer.
Yeah, but I'll be wearing less clothes.
That sounds rude.
Well, it doesn't, because I've got clothes on.
And also joining us from the depths of hell itself is Darren. Hey, Darren.
Hey, what's up, Internet?
Is it warmer over there than it is here? I'm sure it will be.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm actually not wearing any clothes.
Oh, naked. That was Tracy's idea, naked podcasting. So, everyone good? It seems ages since we've recorded.
It does, doesn't it?
Even though it was only 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Obviously, a lot's happened.
A week tear there.
It seems a while. Tracy, I do believe you have something to announce.
I do. Just before we sat down to record, we had some news announced that I'm sure everybody in the world knows about now. But as we record, at 4:24 p.m. today, a son was born to the Duke and Duchess of Cambridge. Now, we know they listen, so we'd just like to say hearty congratulations.
I'm sure they do.
And, Kate, stock up on the gin now, you're going to need it.
Congratulations. I don't even say it like I'm saying it like they are actually listening.
No,
Yeah.
but-
Yeah.
Yeah,
No,
can
but
you imagine that?
It's
Well,
his-
you know, maybe they will. Maybe they're going to go visit Universal Orlando, and they're like, oh, we need to prepare for this trip.
Yeah.
We don't go into anything unprepared, so we've
Number one
selected a
fans.
podcast for you. Yeah.
That would be cool.
William would be flying his own chopper there.
They got to bring
Yeah.
the kids to see, like, Despicable Me and everything, right?
They do indeed. Absolutely.
They'll probably buy the entire park so there's nobody there.
Yeah.
So yes,
Close it for the day. So, yeah.
for episode 61, it is also the day that history was born.
It was.
A future monarch.
There you go. Cool. And leading off children, anyone who's been listening to the podcast for a while will know that we are having our very first podcast meet in a little under 5 weeks.
Wow.
And as part of that, we're working with Give Kids the World as our charity for the event, so we're hoping to raise a bit of money for them. And as part of that, we're doing a little silent auction. Now, it's already gone up on Facebook, and it's been on Twitter and also on Instagram, but we're auctioning off. We have a Universal Studios The Amazing Adventures of Spider-Man baseball. So nothing massive, but we are auctioning that off, and all the money that we get from that auction will go to Give Kids the World. And if you don't know what Give Kids the World is, you need to go and check it out, but it's an amazing charity that takes kids with terminal diseases over and puts the families
They're
up
not
for
all
a week.
terminal,
And
though, I hasten to add.
the majority of
But the
them
majority are, yes.
You know, just fantastic. We've actually got neighbours who are heading over in November as well, so it's pretty close to us. But yeah, so, you know, highest bid obviously wins. Email your bids into us at podcast@uuopodcast.com. The auction's going to end on at 11:59 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Wednesday the 7th, because we're obviously heading out to Orlando on the Saturday, and if somebody in the US wins it, it's obviously going to be a lot easier for us to post it while we're over there, so we can bring it over. Definitely, but also whoever wins it, we, again, because we're travelling over there fairly soon after that, if we can get payment off you straight away, so we can take the money out with us to give it to Give Kids the World while we're there as well. And hopefully we're actually sitting down with one of the girls from Give Kids the World tomorrow night to sort out some charity stuff. We're going to see if we can set up some sort of online donation thing for anyone else who wants to donate as well, because we looked at Just Giving, but it doesn't cover Give Kids the World, so we'll try and sort something else for that if you feel you want to help us.
If it comes down to it, we can always take donations and take them with us.
We can, but obviously
we'd rather it was officially done.
Yeah, definitely. Cool. So get your bids in. We've had one already, one.
We have. Bidding has started, and I do expect it to get fast and furious, so dig deep, people. This is a very important charity, and you don't know whether you will ever need this charity yourself.
I mean, and the baseball is really cool and all.
Oh,
it's a limited edition in park item, that you can't get anymore, as far as I know.
Yeah.
But it's more than that. It's your 100% of your donation is going to go to the charity. Definitely, so definitely bid with that in mind.
Yes.
I mean, if you want to find out what Give Kids the World, you can obviously hit the website, or if you go over and Eric did a volunteer is there now, and he did a post on Mice Chat. I'll stick a link in the notes attached to this. They did a whole post about Give Kids the World, and it is a truly amazing place. Yeah,
the website is gktw.com.
Cool.
So go and check it out and see just what they do.
Definitely, we want to.
Sorry, no, it's .org.
.org.
Yeah, gktw.org.
Cool.
Yeah.
Excellent. So we want to raise as much money as we can for them and put our meat to good use.
Yeah.
We have received an email. It says, "Hi guys, I just recently found your podcast a few months ago when I found I was going to Universal Studios in October, and I really enjoy it. In fact, I went back and downloaded all the episodes that iTunes let me, back to November 2012. Hopefully a few more will be going up soon. And I listened to them too. You guys do a great job of giving the information that the guidebooks don't. But I have a couple of questions that I wanted your opinions on. Number one. We have 1 day of early entry into IOA, and we are going to head straight into the Wizarding World. Where should we go first? Ollivanders or Forbidden Journey? I figure Dragon Challenge can be the third stop." Darren, because we've never been yet. This is good for us, actually.
Yeah. If you have to go to Ollivanders, if that's like one of your main points, you might as well go there early, because you got to stand in an outside queue and wait, for each showtime to come up. So they can only fit so many people. It's a pretty small area, so it's probably best to get into there earlier, because everybody else is going to be rushing over to Forbidden Journey. So once you get out of Ollivanders, you can probably get pretty close to straight on Forbidden Journey before the park actually opens. That is if they do Ollivanders early during the early opening.
No, there's a good point. I'm not sure whether they do. I think it's just the Forbidden Journey, isn't it? Is it like Spider-Man and the Forbidden Journey?
Well, I know they have like all the restaurants and everything open in that area as well, so it's a possibility.
So it could be a decision taken out of the hands.
Yeah.
We will have to find out that.
Yeah, but make sure to get there early and rush up there. Beat the rest of the crowd out, at least for your, first ride of the day.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. His second question is, how often do the water taxis come to the hotels, and is it faster to walk or take the shuttle buses instead?
And from what we've gathered here, it's faster to walk from Hard Rock, but the water taxis are faster from the Royal Pacific and the Portofino Bay hotels, and they come, the schedule says every 15 minutes to each location, so...
It's quite good.
That's what Eric said. I want to do... Apparently the walk from the Royal Pacific is absolutely gorgeous.
Oh, yeah.
So I want to do both when we're staying there, actually. And then he says, "Darren, I know you're a big Halloween Horror Nights fan, but it's not exactly my cup of tea. I haven't been to Universal in over 10 years and will be happy just doing rides and shows. Can you park up over to Islands of Adventure at 5-ish from Universal when they close it down to get ready for Halloween Horror Nights?"
And the answer is yes, if you have a park hopper ticket. If you've got your 1 day, 1 park ticket, then no, you cannot.
I think a lot of people will probably do that, will they, Darren? Do you find when you go to Halloween Horror Nights, do you see a lot of people coming out and heading over to the park or not?
No.
Because most people are probably there for Halloween Horror Nights.
Exactly, yeah.
But
yeah,
then
if
that's
you're there
good.
during the day, people are already like, there's a little queue area for people that are staying after their day to go to Halloween Horror Nights. There's a little queue area that opens up like an hour before the park even closes, and people are queuing up already at that point, so...
From his point of view, that's probably good then, because it might mean that Islands is fairly quiet.
Yeah, and the last hour of Universal will probably be pretty quiet too, as those people, like I said, queue up. Probably be able to hop on a couple rides within that hour and then go over to the other park.
Awesome.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he says, thank you guys, keep up the great work, and that was from Jeff in Chattanooga, Tennessee, I assume that is it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, thanks for that, Jeff. That was...
Well, I
That's
like
good.
getting listeners. It's good to...
Yeah, getting listeners, I would hope
Listeners, I love getting listeners.
so. Emails you
Yes, I
dear.
know what I meant.
Yeah. That
Cool.
was a good one. I like questions
And
like
questions as well,
that.
yes.
Especially ones that are going to help us too.
It is, yeah. That's I never thought about it that way, Richard. But yeah, it's something. See, I can't go into the Wizarding World and not go to Forbidden Journey first, but I know Ollivanders is something I want to do with the kids.
Oh, I'd book with the kids. I mean,
But
never mind the
hopefully-
kids. I've just got a message on Messenger.
Obviously.
Well, no, it could have been a text.
Anyway,
So, from a friend of the show. So can I just say, hello, Rebecca.
oh, God.
I'll speak to you when we're finished recording.
So you'll have already spoken to her by that point.
Well, yeah. I hope she's not waiting that long.
Right, cool. So let's move on to the news.
And now your news from around the Universal Orlando Resort with your UUOP news team.
Universal Creative continued to build on a history of award-winning successes with the Despicable Me Minnie and Mayhem attraction, which has won a prestigious Telly Award.
Telly award. I
Telly,
thought
not
even
TV
I
or
always thought,
television.
like, telly's a very English word, isn't it?
Very.
Yep.
Not used enough, Telly. Yes. This is actually the second time that Universal Creative has won a Telly Award. I assume that's the actual name of it then, a Telly Award.
Yeah.
This is actually the second time that Universal Creative has won a Telly Award, which honours outstanding local, regional and cable television commercials and programmes, as well as the finest video and film productions, and also work created for the web. Despicable Me, Minnie and Mayhem marks the first attraction at Universal Orlando to receive the award, and it was nominated for its excellence in the field of 3D non-broadcast production.
There you go.
So there you are.
Very cool.
Nice.
Well
So
done.
that's it. Got what? Despicable Me now won, wasn't it? Best theme park attraction in about.com?
Well, no, I know the about.com. I think that was the Halloween Horror Nights one.
No, I think Despicable Me won best theme park attraction last for 2012 as well.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I don't
'cause
know.
we
Yeah, I
announced
don't
it
know
on
if
the
that was
show.
on about, but the
2012.
Halloween Horror Nights one was.
That was about.com as well. Was in the same thing because we announced it on the show last year.
When did it open?
Okay.
Last year.
Did it? It opened that long?
Yeah.
My goodness. It'll be down for a refurb then we'll be there.
It's amazing how much stuff is new since the last time we were there.
Oh yeah, it'll look like a very different park.
It's good from not having been for that long. It's kind of like
Oh, yeah.
not quite, but that first time all over again to a certain extent because it'll feel fresh.
Mm-hmm.
I'm
Cool.
still going to have a little cry in the corner. Literally in the corner. My Josh.
We can mention it because this show isn't coming out to Thursday and Eric's update will be out, but that stuff on that Jaws cart looks fantastic.
I'm having one of everything.
Yeah, that looks awesome.
I like the t-shirts. We're going to need a bigger boat.
I want a shark fin headband.
Anyway,
Yeah. All right, I got another one here. Another award for Universal. Theme Park Insider names Lowe's Portofino Bay Hotel the best theme park hotel. 2013 Theme Park Insider Awards based on guest reviews are given out annually to honor excellence in the theme park industry. And Lowe's Portofino Bay Hotel was the honoree for the only category in which a U.S. theme park won.
wow.
Yeah, the award reflects the hard work that has gone into the resort over the past year, from the newly renovated guest rooms to the upcoming debut of the Despicable Me themed kid suites.
Which look amazing.
Oh, they do.
They do look cool.
Yep. or the grown-up suites, as we're calling them here.
Yeah.
The kids can stay in the boring room.
Darren, have you
right.
seen Despicable Me 2?
No, I have not.
Quick review.
Quick review. Bloody marvellous. Not quite as good as the first one, but I really, really enjoyed it.
I literally sat for the last 5 minutes with tears streaming down my face. I was laughing that much.
Yeah.
It wasn't as good as the first one, but it was brilliant.
Good
What were you doing
storyline.
there in the first one, then? Were you, like, in fits on the ground?
No, and there was just one bit at the end was just so funny.
All right.
Yeah, I won't
It was-
spoil it, but
no.
there's a kind of boy band
Don't. It's
episode.
not.
Oh my god, it was just hilarious. Yes, congratulations. That's not the hotel that we're staying in, but there you go.
No.
Can't afford that one.
No, we can't.
Tracy.
Sadly. Yes. Universal Parks and Resorts have renewed a key sponsorship deal with Coca-Cola Company, which is keeping the beverage giant's namesake cola as the official soft drink at Universal theme parks in Florida and California for the next decade.
You don't
Good.
really
Pepsi's
like.
garbage.
I'm
Tracy's
a
a Pepsi girl.
Pepsi girl.
Mm-mm.
I know what's in Coke.
I'm 50-50. I'm not
No.
bothered about either. The thing is, you tend to drink diet stuff, and Pepsi Max is better than Diet Coke.
Oh, without
Well, yeah.
doubt. But I don't drink diet stuff because I have to at the moment.
Well, see, yeah, that's the thing about Coke, is it also cleans your insides as you drink it.
You've
I
got
can
a
do a
rusted
lot of
on.
things.
If you've got nuts and bolts rusted together, pour some Coke over, leave it for half an hour, and it'll just unscrew nice and.
We're supposed to
easily.
be. We don't want to put people off drinking Coke, by the way.
Everybody
Otherwise, you'll be on
knows
our back
this.
going.
Look,
Well, I
They're
think
telling
the,
people
I think
not
the
to drink
world
Coke.
has made their choice.
Yeah.
yes, people still buy it. Yes, where was I anyway? Financial terms have not been disclosed. Well, that's not a great surprise.
Yeah, that's not really a
A
surprise.
whole lot of money.
Yeah.
The deal will ensure that Coca-Cola products will continue to have exclusive access to visitors.
That sounds
a bit
weird.
yeah. In Universal Orlando and Universal Studios Hollywood, which together drew 20.1 million visitors last year. That's according to industry estimates.
I'm like picturing another gate on the other side of the park where all the little sodas are waiting to get in to greet the guests.
Yeah.
Along with the 7 Duffs you should have now as well.
Yeah.
Yep.
And in addition to retaining Coca-Cola's status as the official soda at NBC Universal's North American theme parks, the sponsorship will expand to make Minute Maid the official juice of the parks.
Now that will make you happy because you do like Minute Maid.
I love Minute Maid. Coca-Cola will also get exclusive rights in the sports and energy drink and tea segments. Tea?
segments.
Coca-Cola tea.
Yum.
The tea house of horror.
Would
Yeah,
be.
probably. Yeah.
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 Well,
yeah.
I mean, that's what they're having. Yeah.
Yeah.
The tea also includes, I nearly said cross-dressing.
You said
Don't
tea.
know why the tea. Yeah, it's alright. I'm not well. The deal also includes cross-promotional programs, no cross-dressing programs, I'm afraid. Joint television advertising, and on-package and on-can branding. Coca-Cola will continue to support annual Halloween Horror Night promotions on both coasts.
That's with the Coke Zero promotional
Yeah.
things, isn't it?
Well, yeah. Any Coke can. You put the UPC of any Coke can as a Florida resident, and you get discount tickets.
So.
You can't just buy a Florida resident ticket. You have to have the UPC along with it. So.
Right.
And that's just for Florida residents, though, is it? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And
good,
then
it's good
just
they
for
get
California
deals.
residents on the other coast.
Yeah. I think it's good that the locals get deals. I think it's right.
Yep.
Yeah. It's your bread and butter, isn't it? You've got to give
Absolutely.
people the incentive to go back time after time. Cool.
Time after time.
Darren's been singing a lot lately, hasn't he? If that's it for all, there's not a lot of news out there, as you'll find in the Hollywood section. We'll now move on to the Hollywood news.
And now let's switch coast to see what's going on at Universal Studios Hollywood.
Right, well, there's actually no news from the West Coast. So, instead,
Or if there is, we haven't got it.
No. That's good, isn't it? So, here's the B list. See what I did there?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Of movies filmed on the backlot. We shall start with a 1963 classic starring Tippi Hedren and Jessica Tandy, The Birds.
I have to hang my head in shame and say I have never seen it.
Oh.
No, me either.
Really? I'm surprised you
I've
haven't.
not seen that one.
Darren, I assume you will have seen it.
Oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
It's one of my favorites.
Yeah.
It's great.
It's one of those. It's like I really need to see this, but then it's not coming on Netflix.
I am surprised it's not something that's been remade.
Oh, shush! It'll happen now.
I'm surprised it hasn't. But anyway,
You haven't seen the original, so
I've seen the bit where she gets attacked in the phone box. That's the only bit I've seen, and that's because it's on Seen It.
but there is quite a bit more to that movie, you know. Anyway, oh, the absolute classic. Next, The Blues Brothers from 1980 with Dan Aykroyd and John Belushi.
It went far too soon.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I love The Blues Brothers.
Such a shame that he took Dan Aykroyd's career with him.
Ooh,
No,
scathing.
Ghostbusters was after that.
Yeah, I know. But then after that... ...
Shall we move on swiftly?
Yes, please.
Yes. Oh, another good movie that I'm betting Lee hasn't seen. The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas from 1982 with Burt Reynolds and Dolly Parton.
No, but I will tell you an amusing story, because my dad always used to get me to set the video downstairs because he didn't know how to use it. And I always remember him getting me to get out of bed about 11:30 to go and set the video. Go on downstairs, sunshine, and set the video for us for The Best Little Whorehouse in Texas. I'm thinking, why is my dad getting me to record porn? I was only about 13. I was thinking that surely he should be keeping that a secret. I didn't know what it was. I just obviously with whorehouse in the title.
So you have seen it then. You were very disappointed
No,
when you
I
found out it
haven't seen
wasn't
it.
porn.
I assume it's a musical, is it?
No.
No.
Well, it's got...
there is a stage production with a musical,
Yeah.
but not... Dude, this is the movie. I think there was also a TV show that you're referring to.
Yeah,
I don't know.
it
Yeah,
was about...
A whorehouse in
whorehouse in
Texas
Texas.
that was happened to be the best one.
It's really...
One of the Cheech and Chong movies parodies it a little bit.
Okay.
By when they... Yeah, it's the one where they go to Amsterdam and they check themselves in through customs as Burt Reynolds and Dolly Parton.
Excellent.
Pretty great, yeah.
I think you should give Darren the next one.
Yeah, go on, Darren.
Back to the Future in 1985 with Michael J. Fox. And Back to the Future Part 2. And Back to the Future Part 3.
Yes. Cool. I'm still disappointed we don't have hoverboards.
Yeah, because that's still there. The set on Hollywood on the back lot too for Hill Valley.
Yeah.
Which
We
I
still
think-
got a couple of years. Hoverboards can
was a
happen still.
It's not going to.
I was,
Shouldn't we be on to like Jaws 96 or something by now?
I think it's Jaws 19 in the movie, if I'm not mistaken.
I
like
feel cheated.
holographic
Thomas,
stuff.
we need a campaign. We've been cheated. Another really good film. 1989, Tom Hanks and Carrie Fisher were in The Burbs.
I bet that's the Desperate Housewives set. You
Yep,
think
it
about
actually
Oh
is.
my
Yeah.
god, yeah.
I can totally see it
Yeah?
now.
I love The Burbs.
It's quality.
Have the kids seen it?
Yeah, we've watched it a few times.
Have we? Oh, damn it. I was going to watch it again
It
Wednesday.
came with the frame. It came with the frame. I love
I
it.
love that movie.
Red Rover, let Ray go on over. I love it.
Following that is a movie I have not seen,
No.
surprisingly, 'cause I have seen some garbage in my time. Beethoven.
Hey, Beethoven wasn't garbage.
Oh, well, I haven't seen it, so I'm just kind of guessing. 1992 with Charles Grodin and Bonnie Hunt.
Stand him.
You were asking
This
about Bonnie
is-
Hunt yesterday.
That was why, because I was
All
writing this up.
Okay, there you go then. I'm guessing that all of Beethoven's litters then were also filmed here. I don't know how many
And
sequels
if
there were.
if anybody watched the YouTube video I put up of the Universal back in the day, 1990 something, 1993 or 94 it was.
Yeah.
Anyways, they had a live show with the stars of Beethoven. That's what that weird pop-up inflatable St. Bernard was about.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
They only called it
Now you know.
Beethoven so they could have like Beethoven's second and Beethoven's third and Beethoven's fourth.
Beethoven's
Yeah.
fifth is where you were actually going with that gag, but
No, it wasn't, but that's why they did
that's, yeah.
it. Get on with it.
Next up we have, would you call it a trequel? Beverly Hills Cop 3.
The worst one of the 3.
I don't know whether I've actually seen it.
It's set in a theme park, funnily enough.
Yeah.
Eddie Murphy, 1994.
It's awful.
I don't think I've seen that one. I've
the
definitely seen
first
the first
two
and the
are
second.
really, really good.
Mm-hmm.
Typical 80s, like, cop things, but the third one's garbage.
Oh.
Yeah.
Next one's interesting. Never seen it.
I think his career got murdered. Go on.
No one's seen
Oh,
I've never
that
heard
was
of it.
nasty.
And I've watched a lot of his
I
films
better
as
get
well.
there because people are wondering what you've just been nasty about. 2002, The Backlot Murders. Priscilla Barnes, don't know who she is.
Nope.
And Corey Haim.
Is he dead, like?
Yes!
I didn't
Oh
realise. Oops.
Not like actually did.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't know.
Yeah.
But let's be honest, like, he did tons of films. Like, one of my
That was this was way after Lost Boys and everything.
Yeah, it was
2002.
Yeah.
Like, License to Drive is one of my favourite. Anything he did, as far as I'm concerned, with Corey Feldman was brilliant.
Was a winner.
They were.
Yeah.
License
The
to Drive
Goonies.
was awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
Corey Haim wasn't in the Goonies.
Wasn't he?
Nope.
What?
Nope.
What bootleg copy have you been seeing?
Yeah, they digitally inserted him
Yeah.
in my version.
Yeah, no, he wasn't. Like you
Huh.
say, he was in Lost Boys and License to Drive, and I'm struggling now.
I know, he had such an illustrious career then.
Yeah, I can't think.
Yeah. There was others. Anyway,
gonna have
I
to
shall
have a look.
move on, save your ass. Big Fat Liar from 2002. Paul Giamatti and Frankie Muniz?
That's Malcolm, isn't it?
Paul
Giamatti.
I really like Paul Giamatti. And I'm
Yep.
kind of in like two minds at the moment because he's in the new Spider-Man
Yeah.
as well as Jamie Foxx, and it's just like surely that those two can't be in an absolute piece of so I'll bleep it out, but the first one was cack.
Everybody's career starts to go south somewhere.
Right.
I mean, Jamie Foxx is running on a high with Django, but
Yeah.
before that, where was he?
Yeah, but
it's been a while.
Do you follow something as awesome as Django Unchained with a Spider-Man sequel?
Mhm.
Have you seen the first one, Darren?
Yeah.
It was cack.
hmm
And I'm a massive Spider-Man fan as well. But anyway, what was it again? Oh yeah, Big Fat Liar. I've not seen it.
Yeah, it's a pretty good movie, actually. I liked it. It's one of those, kids.
I've
Kids
seen
take control.
it. Doesn't Paul Giamatti end up with a blue or a green face at some point?
Yep.
Oh, that
Yeah,
rings a
we've
bell.
seen
I've
it
not
with the
seen
kids.
it,
I've
but
seen it with the kids. I just had some sort of big flashback there.
I'm pretty sure we're a Universal podcast, not a movie podcast. Sorry, Andy.
Moving on, last two, we have Bruce Almighty from 2003 with Jim Carrey and Jennifer Aniston.
Oh yes, love that film.
hmm
That is so
Great
much fun. Yeah. And following that, Balls of Fury from 2007 with Dan Fogler, I'm guessing at, and Christopher Walken.
Yep.
I don't know that one.
That's it's not dodgeball. It's
Table tennis. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I was asking
Ah.
Tracy, I got it confused because I thought it was John Heder, and that was Blades of Glory.
Oh yeah.
So, yeah, that's kind of it for our Hollywood news, which isn't news, it's a list of movies.
Just
So-
giving
Yeah.
people
It is, it's a bit of fun, isn't it?
We shall now move on.
Bones will rattle, stairs will creak. Your outcome's looking pretty bleak. Thunder booms and lightning crashes, leaving boots filled with ashes. As we lay you down to rest, we read the pages of the Dead Man's Digest.
All right, and welcome to the second edition of the Dead Man's Digest. We got another house announcement here. This fall, Universal Studios Florida and Universal Studios Hollywood Halloween Horror Nights will conjure unrelenting evil in elaborately themed haunted mazes based on this year's box office hit, Evil Dead. Universal is joining forces with Sony Pictures Home Entertainment to deliver more scares for the horror fans in this blockbuster remake of the cult classic. Producers Rob Tapert, Sam Raimi, and Bruce Campbell, creators of the original Evil Dead film, reunited to present this year's new vision of the classic horror film. The film follows 5 20-something friends who turn a remote cabin in the woods into a blood-soaked chamber of horrors after awakening an ancient demon. The Evil Dead series is iconic, and the latest film has set the scare factor to 11, said Mike Aiello from Universal Orlando's entertainment team. These haunted mazes will be just as intense and unapologetically terrifying, and I can't wait for my fellow horror fans to venture inside and live the unyielding horror that they've seen in the film. Quite, what's that word I'm trying to think of here?
I have no idea.
It's what I'm not. Eloquent, yeah. Oh, that was perfect. And then, we had watching Evil Dead's unrelenting horror unfold in movie theaters when it was undoubtedly an unnerving experience, but with Halloween Horror Nights, we're taking it one step further, said John Murdy, creative director for Universal Studios Hollywood. Fans of Evil Dead will feel like they've left the safety of the theater and stepped through the screen into a living horror movie where the film's demonic characters are coming for them. Our incredibly immersive and highly disturbing maze experience will come to life with the same attention to detail and production value of the film and will be the ultimate thrill for horror movie fans. And of course, you can visit HalloweenHorrorNights.com for more information on that. Cool. But that's about it, really.
Yeah.
You're not going to get much more information than that.
No. Not yet.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty damn cool to me.
Yeah, definitely.
I have not seen the film, not the new one. Although it did look very gory from the trailer I watched.
It's good. It's different. It's a different movie. I mean,
That's always good.
Yeah, it was more like an original movie that paid homage to the classic, as opposed to like a direct remake. Which, I mean, they can't get another Bruce Campbell. He doesn't, they can't unage Bruce Campbell.
No, sadly.
Yeah, I mean, because there's nobody I know that could really fill that role in as well as he did, and they didn't really take a campy route with this one. It's more just straight up horror. So,
Right.
we had some responses on the Facebook page. Eric from the show here said, "Okay, so Evil Dead is coming. The movie was too scary for me, which is awesome because that means this house is going to make me wet my pants. I'm actually feeling a bit anxious about this because I'll have to go through it, and I am terrified."
We'll have to get him to record audio then.
Yeah.
I'm so evil. Sorry,
Yeah.
Eric.
No, that would be pretty cool to mic Eric up going through one of these houses. I've heard him on roller coasters. He screams like a girl. I need to get him on the Hulk or Rip Ride Rocket or something when we're over there and record it.
I bet he squeals on the teacups. Bless him. He knows I love him, really.
He bloody listens to this as well. He'll be messaging me now going, when he's listening to this going, I beg your pardon.
I want him to look after my kids, so I better be nice.
All right. Next one from one of our most frequent listeners. I think actually the most frequent listener of the show, period. Lee, do you have it over there, or do you want me to read it?
I haven't got anything.
Okay.
Are they talking about me?
Well,
I must be the most
yeah,
frequent
exactly. The guy that edits it listens to it the most.
I actually thought you were talking about somebody else.
Who's he talking about?
Lee said, "I haven't seen the remake, although it looks pretty good. I would have rather seen it based on Sam Raimi's original films, especially Evil Dead 2.
Yeah.
But I'm sure that Universal Creative on both coasts will knock it out of the park."
I do. I think, yeah. If they based it off the especially the second one, it could have been amazing. But not having seen the new one, I've got no base of reference on it. But if Sam Raimi himself and Bruce Campbell are involved in it, then it must be fairly decent. So I would expect it to be. I think it's one of those from, like I said to you there, from the trailer, it will up the gore, which is something you've said has been missing for quite the last couple of years.
Yeah, there was actually a post on Reddit because they had an advertisement for the movie on the Xbox when you started it up, and it was the girl coming up out of the floor, and it was just like a small advertisement thing. But somebody had posted it up saying that their kid was extremely terrified and started screaming when they turned on their Xbox.
Oh dear!
And he walked in, and that's what was on the screen. So.
Swallow your soul! Swallow your soul!
Yeah.
Oh dear.
Yeah, extremely. And the new one was pretty hardcore. So I think it'll be good. I mean, again, talking about house-wise, there's plenty of material there for it, so.
Cool.
Should be neat. It is kind of interesting, though. 2 cabins announced so far.
Yeah.
Never thought of that.
Yep. Then we had Victor A, so I don't completely butcher his last name.
Archambault, isn't it? I always
it?
pronounce it Archambault.
Okay, I'll let you do it in case it's wrong. The new remake was fantastic, and yes, it's based off the new remake. You should go check out the article IGN wrote up interviewing Mike Aiello and John Murdy. This sounds incredible. He also agreed with you that Evil Dead is his favorite. The new remake is, he said, how should I say, very dark compared to the original and very brutal, and it's one of his favorite remakes.
Yeah, the originals were quite campy.
And then on the complete opposite side of the spectrum, Keith Chandler chimed in and said, if it's based on the new Forgettable movie, I'm not interested. If it's based on the cult Bruce Campbell movie, I'm there. Sorry. I've got to say, because it is going to be based on the new movie. It's a Universal property, so.
And it's new, so.
Yep. Yeah, I did see a little bit of a campaign on other forums and things that said, no Ash, no cash for Universal.
I like it.
Yeah, but no, I think they're going to do a great job with that one. On Twitter, we had at Lisa Cosgrove 74 said, "Devastated, we're missing it this year." Do you think it's the actual Lisa Cosgrove?
I'm just thinking I know the name.
Who's Lisa Cosgrove?
Singer, I believe.
Not Miranda Cosgrove.
Maybe, I don't know. Not into the pop scene.
She's from Ireland, is Lisa Cosgrove. We interact on Twitter quite a lot.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, she said, yeah, devastated that they're missing this year, and Chris Lewis chimed in and said, me too.
Yeah, he's her boyfriend.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Over at the Mice Chat Universal Hollywood Forum, we had a little bit of activity going on there. Bog Lurch said, I'm going to have to hazard a guess that this is taking Silent Hill's place at Universal Studios Hollywood. He said, I'm interested to see how they're going to lay out the park for the next few Halloween Horror Nights. A lot of construction areas to work around, and at least 2 of last year's maze locations currently are entirely behind walls. Yeah, I have seen a little bit of anticipation that it might be a smaller event than normal over there, based on the construction, but with pop-ups and things like that, you never know. And they have a whole studio backlot to work with, so.
I'd be interested to see if they're different. Like the 2 houses, whether the basic idea behind the 2 of them would be exactly the same, or whether they would do 2 different takes on it, and how much influence like Mike Aiello as a creative director and how much influence John Murdy has on it.
Right. Yeah, definitely don't know. The Walking Dead houses were pretty similar in both locations.
Right.
So yeah, it'll be interesting to find that out. I'm sure they work pretty closely together on that kind of thing.
Well, I'm hoping Norm will get out there this year and he can do something for us as well, or we might even have Norm on to talk about it if he gets to go this year. That would be cool. I shall message him now, actually.
Yep. No, Bigsworth over there said, I like this announcement and can't wait to check it out in September. Ashy, that's what that is, right? Ashy says, I like fresh new mazes, bring it on. And Alpha Base Girl, yeah, I'm not even gonna try these usernames anymore. Says, sounds terrifying. And then Rex said, I bet this maze will have gruesome details. I'll love to visit this year. So yeah, that's it from the Universal side of things. Also got some information from Howl-O-Scream this year. It looks to be that their theme is called Who Are the 13. On their website, they have 13 closed doors, with each eventually opening to unveil a character icon. It seems this year that all the houses will be new and original.
Which is something you've kind of said for the last few years as well, haven't you, Darren, that they've tended to use the same ones and switch out maybe 2 or 3.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, but this year it looks, I mean, from it's a pretty elaborate theme that they're going with this year, something I haven't seen from them at all yet. So it's kind of interesting as Universal's moving into the, IPs and movie properties more, to see Busch Gardens kind of filling in that gap for the original productions. It's kind of interesting there. A little bit of a news article on that. Universal's been delivering scares for 20 years, but Howl-O-Scream at Busch Gardens in Tampa has also had its share of thrills for more than a decade. Horror fans can take the horror a bit further through Facebook. Through a series of polls this year, Howl-O-Scream Facebook fans will vote on several elements of a brand new haunted house, the Deathwater Bayou, which is the first house they've announced. Deep in the bayou, the Voodoo Queen mystically transforms lost wanderers into her minions of evil with black magic. Here, her night servants roam with a zombie-like hunger and seek to grow her collection. The darkest evils lurk in shadows, and travelers must get out before they fall victim to her spell. So basically what they're doing is they're letting guests vote on elements from the house. They've got like different, it looks like small elements, but at least, you're helping out. Eventually culminating in naming the city that this house is located in. So that sounds pretty interesting there.
Definitely.
Yeah. Howl-O-Scream is Friday and Saturday, starting September 27th and 28th. They run Thursday through Saturday nights on all the weekends up until Halloween.
Just to step in, I don't know whether you've seen this or not, but I was listening to another podcast today, and they were talking about two other icons that have been, I don't know whether they've been officially announced, but they're supposed to, I think there was the Butcher and the Cannibal.
Yes. I was getting to those, yes.
No.
Sorry.
It's alright.
It's just because you were going into tickets and stuff, I thought you'd kind of finished up. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. Nope, I'm sorry.
I'll cut it out.
Yeah, and speaking of those doors on the website there, as Lee just mentioned, they've opened 3 doors so far. They've had the Voodoo Queen at door number 6. Then they opened up number 4, which was the Butcher. And I like the tagline on this. Mama's always been proud of her son, the Butcher. He's always been there to protect her and help her with the family business. But all that chopping has kept him from finding a love of his own. Now he's looking for someone, and he'd love to hack his way into your heart. Are you ready to meet, M-E-A-T, your fate?
They seem to be really stepping it up, Howl-O-Scream, don't they?
Yeah, definitely. And then door number 10 was the Cannibal. When Herbert Jeffries visited Fiji, he explored the lush highlands, met some hospitable tribesmen, and unknowingly sat for a meal with a unique menu. He walked away with an insatiable hunger. Upon returning to the States, he walked away from his architecture practice and became a night watchman in a small New Hampshire morgue, allowing him wholesale access for dining. But his tastes have become more refined and requires even fresher flesh. Sashimi grade, tartar quality. You.
Brilliant.
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. So, they're definitely stepping it up. Now, having 13 icons is really interesting. I'm suspecting that each house and each kind of scare zone will have their own icon and theme set up there. From what I can tell, it's still really early. I haven't got all the details yet, but it looks amazing.
Yeah.
So looking forward to covering that as well for the Dead Man's Digest here.
Definitely. Well, you did last year, so we did like an interesting comparison between Halloween Horror Nights and Howl-O-Scream. It'll be interesting to see if it's the same this year.
Definitely. And that will do it for this week's segment of the Dead Man's Digest.
Cool. Oh, I'm really enjoying it. It's good.
Yeah.
I think it's good. It's definitely better that it's got its own like standalone segment now, rather than just involving it in the news, as it were.
Yeah.
In a world where the skies are clouded with ADRs, park ticket, and hotel bookings, one hero stands like a beacon of light in the darkness. Heather at Die-Gest Destinations. She can book all of your Universal Orlando vacation needs, and her service is free to you. And if you're staying on Disney property for some reason, she can also book Universal tickets that include transportation. How awesome is that? She's also an authorized Disney vacation planner, as well as being able to book all cruise lines. So if you're planning on battling Megatron alongside Optimus Prime at the new Transformers ride, or having a Duff Brew in the new Springfield area, or planning even further ahead to visit Harry Potter in Diagon Alley next year, contact Heather at 1-800-796-6240 or via email at heather@destinationsinflorida.com today. And don't forget to tell her that you're repping the UUOP. We now return you to your regularly scheduled programming.
That's all right. We'll move on to our main segment. I'll leave myself to intro it properly in a minute, but just bear with it because our interviewee's Skype, we had a little bit of trouble with it. So I've edited it the best I can. It still seems okay, but just so you know what all the robot bits and stuff that was going on, but it hasn't come out too bad. So we shall pass you over to myself, Tracy, and Darren as we interview Brent Young. Right, so for this main segment of the show, we're going to be broadening our horizons on the show from moving out of the US parks that we normally cover and over to somewhere that's a bit alien to all of us, which is Singapore, to talk about the Madagascar, a great adventure in Universal Studios Singapore. And to help us talk about the attraction, we would like to welcome onto the show Principal and Creative Director for Super 78, the company that built the ride, is Brent Young. Hi, Brent.
Well, how are you guys doing? And as we all know, it takes a village to build a ride. So I wouldn't take that much credit as you've given us. So there were actually hundreds of people that worked on that ride from all over the world, and maybe even thousands, in the park itself. But there were so many attractions that were being built simultaneously at Universal Singapore that, who knows how many people actually touched it, but it was quite an experience, and hey, thanks for having me on, guys.
You're more than welcome. For anyone who doesn't know Brent, again, I always say this, shame on you, but Doug Barnes, who is the Lord and God of the Mice Pod, is
his head's just got a little bit bigger.
Co-host. Doug doesn't listen to us. You're joking, aren't you? Brent's Doug's co-host on the Season Pass podcast, which has just recently joined the Mice Pod as well. So go over and listen.
Yes. Yeah, we're really excited about that. As we were talking about earlier, Doug and I have been doing the podcast for 5 years now. We've had a couple of hundred or plus great producers and creatives from the industry, the themed entertainment industry. We talk to, I would say, some of the best that are out there, and anyone who's listening to your podcast who really enjoys to hear some of the, and wants to hear some of the behind the scenes stuff, how rides get made on, and we go really into the weeds on the podcast. Please give it a listen.
Definitely. I think, actually, I've just remembered the first episode I listened to. It was the one where I think you had Craig Hanna and Dave Cobb and the guy who did the music for Men in Black, whose name escapes me at the moment. That was the first one I listened to.
Yeah, those guys are a lot of fun, and that was kind of reaching back. So from time to time, people will ask us to interview the creator of their favorite attraction. So we'll actually get an email or a voicemail from one of the listeners saying, "Hey, can you put together a podcast around, in this case, it was Men in Black." So we went out and found the production designers, the creative directors, the folks from Universal that worked on it, and as you mentioned, the composers for the music. We put them all together in a podcast and talk about the entire process, beginning to end, of the creation of an attraction.
It was absolutely brilliant as well. I mean, that's one of my favourite rides in the studios. So for me, it was a bit of a geek fest, to be quite honest.
And with as much work goes into making those, each one definitely deserves its own documentary. So it's great that you're doing that.
Yeah, it is. It's a bit of we call it an archive for the industry. Unfortunately, the way that the bigger players, Disney and Universal, have operated over the years is that this is magic, right? Especially at Disney, that for years and years the curtain, you couldn't look behind the curtain, and they really don't want you to know how all of this stuff is done. And what that creates, though, is this kind of world of secrecy, and no one really gets any credit, and you don't really get to talk to the people that really built these things. So that was the whole idea behind the season pass. Doug was doing a little podcast on his own, and I had been working in the industry for years trying to get a podcast for the themed entertainment industry off the ground. And so that kind of is how we started, and it's been a lot of fun.
Definitely. Right. Enough of kissing Doug's ass. Let's move on and talk about you, Brent. So talk to us about your background, how you became involved in what you do, basically, and how Super 78 came about.
Sure. I mean, it's always an interesting path for anyone in this industry, because there's very, very few people who actually set the course from the time they were in college or in high school to decide, hey, this is what I want to do with the rest of my life. I want to design, build, and be involved in theme parks and attraction development. So my path, like so many others, went through a series of different kind of career moves before I got to where I am. The real beginning, I was working at a company called Rhythm and Hues, which is a visual effects studio, which was really this year became very famous for winning the Oscar for Life of Pi, and then they very famously went bankrupt at the time of the Oscars. But I was with them.
I think there was a big article on Mice Chat about that, if I remember rightly.
Yeah. So those folks, I mean, we started at the beginning of that company all the way back in the mid-'90s, and at that time they were working on a Daejeon Expo in Korea, doing a 3D film. We were doing some work for Universal for Hanna-Barbera, Fantastic World of Hanna-Barbera, which was the predecessor to the Nicktoons
Jimmy
ride.
Neutron, wasn't it?
Yeah, Jimmy Neutron, which was the predecessor to the now Despicable Me ride. So it was the first thing that was in that stage with the simulator. So that was one of the first attractions that I got to work on.
Oh, did you now?
Yeah,
I shall remember that for the future.
Yeah. And so yeah, I mean, I came in at the tail end of that. We were doing the CG for the Jetsons portion and the Scooby-Doo portion of that ride.
Cool.
And then we were hired by Universal Studios to do another ride in Wakayama, Japan, called Safari, which was an underwater journey. We're trying to find a missing sub, and we happen upon a giant underwater sea creature that chases us around, and blah, blah, blah. And we make it to safety. But it was one of these early simulators back in the 90s when simulators were all the rage. This thing was huge, and it really stands the test of time. I mean, it was so well done. We had a great team of people there. At the same time, we were working on some of the feature films like Babe. The Coca-Cola polar bears were generated out of that studio. So we had a lot of great projects and great artists working there. But I happened to, just because everybody wanted to work on the feature films, work on the commercials, I was brand new to the company, and I said, well, I'll work on these theme park attractions if no one else wants to. So I moved into editing all the 70 millimeter film, the IMAX film for the attractions. We had a couple that were going into Vegas, if you remember the Star Trek ride,
yes.
Star Trek Experience, which Rhythm and Hues had done. So I worked on that. I worked on a bunch of other things, Race for Atlantis, and those rides. But those were all media-based attractions. We were doing 3D before 3D was big in the movie theaters, obviously. This was back in, again, the early 90s, mid-90s. So one of the producers there, who was also working in the theme park division, is Dina Benedon. She is still my partner. We own Super 78. We started it back in the late 90s. And we're married now. So we've been together for a long time. It's been 16 years. And what happened, it was like late 90s. We started working on expos. So we worked on the expo in East Germany. We worked on an attraction for the Audubon Nature Institute, which was called Awards Night, which was kind of a Bug's Life 4D attraction with Jay Leno and some of the other characters. Okay. And then at that time, we got hired by Universal Studios to do the animatronics for the Mummy attraction, the original Mummy attraction. So we were hired by Scott Trowbridge at the time to do previs which is basically doing the animation and CG for all of the animatronics, and then be able to dump out the data and give that to the animatronics vendors so they could program the animatronics. So we started getting into all of these little things. We also did the laser show at the Poseidon's Fury. Was it Poseidon's Fury? Is that what it was called?
Yeah, Islands of Adventure.
Yeah. So we had done the animation for that. So we were picking up all these kind of little bits and pieces and odds and ends of CG and media pieces of attractions, and then kind of our big breakout attraction had to be the Dark Castle for Busch Gardens Williamsburg. So we created all the media for that attraction, and a lot of that media drove the art direction of the overall attraction. I don't know if you guys haven't had an opportunity to ride it, but it was using the same ride vehicle as Spider-Man. Essentially, it was done by the same folks. Oceaneering created it, and it was using a less expensive version of the Spider-Man vehicle, which instead of using hydraulics, it was using airbags, which actually worked in our favor, and they created a kind of a regional attraction. It was a destination level attraction at a regional budget. And so that really was, we were able to pull that off. No one went over budget. We delivered on time. Actually, it opened a month early, which is kind of unheard of in the world of attractions.
Yeah.
And so we started producing more and more media for attractions, but then people started asking us to do more of the front end work. So they wanted some creative development because we were doing a lot of artwork for the media, and that artwork could translate into the queue line programming. It could translate into some of the theming. And so we started doing additional work for creative development for the attractions, which kind of blossomed into more of the concept development on the attractions. And that kind of led to some opportunities in China. As soon as China started blooming, we did a couple of attractions over there, which are kind of soaring attractions. We did a flying over the U.S. and a Flight of the Dragon, which was a flying over China. And at that point, we were doing kind of the overall creative direction for the media, but also kind of helping put some input into the ride itself. And then at that point, oh gosh, and I forgot all the SeaWorld stuff. We had done the Shamu show and all of that.
Wow.
But at that point, we were approached by the executive producer of Universal Studios Singapore. His name is Steve Ryan, and he had worked with us on the Shamu Believe attraction and show.
Is that the one in Orlando? Yeah.
Yeah, the one that was in Orlando before they. It was the one before the most recent version. And so Steve Ryan had won the contract with Genting to build Universal Studios. He was what we call in the industry the owner's representative. So what happens is that a developer like Genting, they put a bid in to Singapore to do the development, the overall development of Sentosa Island, and that included a Universal Studios, a casino, multiple hotels, the Hard Rock Hotel, the largest aquarium in Southeast Asia, water park. So they pulled out all the stops for this thing, multi-billion-dollar development. So when they were awarded that, they needed someone who would be the executive producer and basically go out and hire the teams of people that then would concept the rides and then build the rides or produce the rides. And then there was local contractors that were doing construction work, plus contractors all over the world that were doing all the scenic development. So they, once that was awarded to Genting, Steve Ryan approached us to do a couple of the attractions there. Well, the first attraction was the Donkey Live, which is the interactive character, which is very similar to Turtle Talk. And, we would do the concept, script writing, work with DreamWorks, do all the back-end production for all the technical needs, media production, along with the audio-video support. So that was our first project that was given. And that's kind of how we were led into Madagascar. Madagascar was already underway through a couple of different firms doing some of the creative development. And because of politics, which there's a lot of politics in this industry, it kind of got shuffled around, and they needed someone to come in and get it through DreamWorks. And we had already been working with DreamWorks on our project. So yeah, if you guys want to jump in and ask any specific questions about the process, I could either do that, just continue to ramble through the whole thing, or.
Well, that was good. Like we watched a video of it on YouTube, and it looks. I commented to Tracy and said it looks very much like a Disney attraction.
Yes.
It kind of felt like Universal's version of Pirates of the Caribbean.
Yeah, and there, there's several interesting stories around the development of the attraction. But overall, the culture of the folks in Singapore, really, it's an Asian cultural difference between our what we look at as a theme park and especially with Universal Studios. So Universal Studios, their demographic tends to skew up a little bit older, the teenagers. It's not necessarily for little kids, when you go to a Universal Studios attraction. Well, Singapore is very family-oriented, very, very much a family's values country, very small. But when they do things, they do things with the entire family, and that's grandma, grandpa, mom and dad, and the kids. The whole family goes. So when looking at that demographic and looking at the attractions that Universal Studios had to offer, that could plop right down, we really had to explore how do we tone it down in a way that meets the needs of the local audience. And that's really why the park has a bit of a different feel. It's a very small park, and Dina likes to say it's the perfect blend. It has that. It's got a big castle in it. It's got a lot of things for the family to do and a lot of things for little kids to do. So one of the things that we were asked is to create a very family attraction. So Madagascar was really supposed to hit that family market, and I think we did do that.
Yeah.
One of the things that came about, and it's known quite infamously in the industry, and I'm not sure how much it's known outside of the industry. But the ride initially had 2 stories, and there was a large lift. A couple of lifts in the attraction. There was a big camelback drop. All of this was built, the lift going into the second story. And then we had, if you look in the ride-through, you'll see that there's a big lava scene and a volcano, and there's all this activity. Well, that was all on the second story. So once you would come out of the jungle and you would approach this giant cat Fusa head, you would go up into the Fusa head, and there was a big lift there. That lift would take you up to the second level, and there was this giant volcano that you would wrap around, and lava erupting on smoke and fire and all this other stuff. And then you would plunge back down onto the first floor into the celebration scene with all the waterfalls and lemurs. They poured the concrete for the flume. They had done all this development. They put the conveyors in for the lifts. and we had installed the entire show, both first and second level. The entire thing was installed and ready to go. And they started running boats through it, and the boats were crashing.
Oh dear.
And water was flooding the building, and it was everybody's worst nightmare. You have $100 million attraction that no one can get on. So there was a real, everybody had already, left. Everybody thought the ride was installed and it was good to go. And the engineers came in and they had a high-level meeting with the engineers, and the engineers decided that the best way to go would be to take out the second story, take out all the lifts, and move everything down onto a one-story experience, just a one-level experience. And you can imagine how upset all of the designers and creators were.
Yeah, I can well imagine.
Yeah.
I think I finished an entire bottle of Jose Cuervo the night. And then I proceeded to call the guys that were doing it, and in a drunken rage. But it was that was heartbreaking as a kid, and even more in this experience. It's an aspirational thing. You're going up this big mountain. You're now amongst this giant fiery volcano. Then there's a chute that you see coming, and there's an absolute thrill there that that doesn't get delivered on it at its current configuration. So we fought as hard as we could to keep that lift in there, and the engineers were saying, well, we got to get this ride open in a few months. The only way we're going to get this open, and it's going to cost whatever, $10 million. They said some number around there.
Ouch.
To fix it with the lifts and all of this other stuff. And I think at the end of the day, just moving it down to the first floor experience, it cost twice of what they thought it was going to cost just to fix it.
Wow.
So it would have been better to fix it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Literally, they tore the building open, completely ripped out all the sets, and we were flown out to Singapore, myself and the art director, Catherine John, who worked for Universal for a long time. She did the Dueling Dragons queue and some of the other amazing work over at Islands of Adventure. And she's currently working over at Disney Shanghai. But we were sent back over there, and the producer Rick Hinton was over there, and we were kind of dropped into a room, and they basically gave us the flume plan and said, figure this out. You have 24 hours to come up with a plan on how we're going to fix this ride.
Okay. Interesting.
That's the pressure.
Because I know me and Tracy were watching it, we noticed that there was, I think we only counted like one drop in it, didn't we? Mm-hmm. And then now that makes sense that you've said
quite
that.
a short one as well.
Yeah. Because even in like Pirates of the Caribbean, there's only, I think there's two. It depends which one you ride. Actually, there's only one. Is there one or two drops in the one in World?
No, the Singapore one doesn't even have a drop. It has literally you get up on a raceway, which is the whole idea was that we were coming out of the flume, and that to add one thrill in there, we pull you up onto a conveyor belt and then launch you down this long straightaway.
Okay.
And so that was the idea. Unfortunately, you'd get the boats on, they would accelerate the rubber raceway, and it would just spin out right underneath the boat, like it would literally slide underneath the boat.
Oh.
So there's all kinds of engineering things that you have to deal with that you don't even think about. The ride itself is just it's just an amazing just technical wonder. One of the things that we had to do it's very different than a Pirates of the Caribbean or a Small World. those attractions are all on loops, right? So all of the figures are delivering lines that are on loops that they just go over and over and over again. They're not timed to the boat. So this attraction, the Madagascar attraction, is literally timed to the individual boat. So when you come in a scene, the lights go on for the scene. As you get past different sensors, it'll trigger different figures to say different things, and they're all directed to the individual boat. So everyone has a story that's being told to them as they go through the experience, and that made it extremely difficult because these boats are not on tracks. They're just floating down a river, which is all gravity based, and the weight of the boat makes a big difference. So if you have a full boat versus an empty boat versus a half empty boat, so you're constantly kind of battling the time issue, and you want the lights to go out in front so the people can't see into the next scene. So there was a lot of a planning that went into creating a timed experience rather than just a kind of a looping small world experience, and that I think is probably the most complicated version of a water ride you're going to find anywhere in the world. Because of
that's my question answered, actually, because I had noticed when we were watching it that the boat would get to a certain point and there'd be a little scene, and then the lights would go down, the lights would come on somewhere else. So that was obviously directing the audience's gaze and attention over there. And I'd wondered if that was somehow linked to each boat, or whether they just timed it right for that particular.
Right. No, it's literally there are sensors all along the track, all along the boat path. And for those folks who haven't been on it and haven't watched it online, basically we're taking you into the world of Madagascar, which is the DreamWorks property. And if you haven't seen photos of it, you literally start off in a crate. We load you into a big crate, and then you're shoved off and you float into the wreckage of a giant tanker. And the facade itself is extraordinarily impressive.
It was something we both looked at and went, Jesus, that's the outside of the building. It's a big ship.
Very impressive.
It's massive. I mean, it's as big as a real tanker or a real freighter, at least from the perspective of the front of the ship, and then it kind of it's all forced perspective as it goes back. But it is huge, and that's literally just covering maybe a third of the show building in the front, and then the show building goes on for hundreds of yards back. It's a gigantic attraction. So you literally float into the cargo hold, and that's where we meet all of the characters from Madagascar, all the Zoosters, and they're all in the crates, and the crates are rocking back and forth, and then something terrible goes. The penguins take over the boat, and we crash on Madagascar. We fall off the ship, and our crates wash up on the shores of Madagascar. So we take you through the first movie really, and then we have some fun with the second movie was coming out at that time, and if you remember the second movie, they had the volcano, so we kind of gave a nod to some of the things that you would see in the second movie. But we really wanted to give that origin story and retell that, because we thought that would be the evergreen story that you could see again and again and again.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Can I just ask, the voices of all the characters, were they done by the original actors?
They were not, actually. The only original actors that were in the were the penguins.
Right.
Yep. So the director of the film was actually Skipper. So he played he did the voice, and so we had the penguins do all the penguin voices, but the rest of them we had sound-alikes, and those guys were the folks that do all the video games and the commercials
Right.
and the TVs and all of that stuff. So they were kind of the official sound-alikes, and they were good. I mean, I was happy with most of the voice talent that did the voice, and I know people are very sensitive to that. But it was just impossible with schedules and budget
Yeah.
to be able to get Chris Rock and Ben Stiller and the rest of them. Though
They were really good.
Yeah.
yeah, they did make they as they always do, they will give the actors first right of refusal to actually participate in the ride. And it just didn't work out for budget reasons and schedule reasons that they were going to be available for us.
Chisu and I were arguing over it. She was like, that doesn't sound like David Schwimmer. And I was like, no, it does. It does sound. She said, I'm going to ask Brent tomorrow night. Was it really them? Because it doesn't sound like him. I said, no, it sounds like him to me.
Yeah. They were. I mean, they were really close, and in that environment, it works, and it was really interesting doing all of that all of the voice over recording. Our script went on for miles and miles because it had to go through so many approvals, and it had to go through DreamWorks, and literally they were writing the script as if you would write a movie or a short movie, and we all know with attractions it becomes very, very different. In attraction, you want to kind of minimize the dialogue. It's really a visual kind of experience, and the more dialogue you put in, the more kind of muddled it all gets. You don't really know what's going on. So, we had to edit down all of that dialogue into and just the basic fundamental pieces that you need to tell the story to keep it going.
Yeah, well, I suppose that water, that plays quite a part in acoustics, doesn't it? So that'd be, another good reason to keep.
Speaking of the dialogue, that I find quite interesting, is that it's all in English.
Yeah. Well, that Singapore's official language is English.
All right.
There you go.
Yeah, the Brits were there for a long time, and there's a lot of colonialism that still kind of exists. There's a lot of expats there. They're certainly Singapore, because of its Silk Route origins and trade. Its place on the map. It's very heavy in trade. The port is where it makes a great deal of money. So there are people from Malaysia, Indonesia, China. There's a lot of Chinese, India, Pakistan. It's very much a crossroads. Then you have Australia that's very close, so there's a lot of expats from Australia. There's a lot of folks from the United States that are there. So it really is a melting pot, and it's a very small place. So I guess they took kind of the universal language that would be accepted by so many different cultures and adopted it as the first language.
Makes perfect sense.
It's because that was another thing I was obviously. With it being in Asia, I didn't know whether the ride would be designed slightly differently to their sort of sensibilities and stuff than it would be to a European or an American audience.
Yeah, well, I think the getting back to what we were talking about earlier, it's the family. We also worked on another attraction there. We did the King Julian's Carousel. We did all the figure development for that also. And, they have that whole land, the Madagascar and the far, far away land is very much built for families. And then you get to the other side of the park where it's got the roller coasters, the Mummy, the Jurassic Park, and some of those more thrill rides that are traditionally what you would find at Universal. But I think the far, far away, outside of the 4D attraction, which is in the Universal Park, far away land and Madagascar are really unique to Singapore. I mean, that really gives it a very, very different feel than the rest of the Universal portfolio.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely. Just looking at the park map here, it's pretty amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It does.
Yeah, and seeing the castle that they have built for it and everything as well, it's just awesome.
Stunning,
It
isn't
was.
it?
It looks amazing. Like,
Yeah.
oh my god, I need to go there.
Well, they did. That was, I think, like one of the requirements was that the castle be bigger than the Disneyland castle. You know, it had to be bigger. So, and that was kind of, right? That his castle was so huge and he was so small. So that was kind of part of the ethos of Far Far Away land to begin with. So it just fit in there. And I believe there's some great hospitality suites and things up inside of that, inside there, along with, I think, some crew dining options.
Right.
That's in the castle.
Oh wow.
I bet you can't get those suites for love nor money.
Yeah, well, probably can. There in Singapore, at that resort, you can pretty much get just about anything. They have huge, the gamblers that come in from China. The profits that the casino generates and that resort generates is just amazing compared to what you would see in the United States. And the floor space of the actual casino is very, very small, something much smaller than you'd be used to seeing at in a Las Vegas casino. But yet, the people that go in and gamble there are bringing, millions and millions of dollars. So they're actually doing quite well.
Wow. I can't imagine just gambling. Oh, just stick 100 grand down there. That'll be all right.
Oh yeah. That happens all the time there. The interesting thing about that park, again, that was with the government of Singapore. They were really concerned about, people and gambling and how it affects society in general. And that's why they opened up the Maritime Museum, which is there, the aquarium, which is there. They wanted the Universal Park had to be there, and they did they basically said you can have X square meters of gambling floor space, and per 1,000 square meters of entertainment space, right, for the kind of everybody to enjoy. So they literally put an equation or a formula that they had to follow, and as the museums would open, and they had to meet a certain level of expectations. So they could only hire world-class developers to build all of these things there, or they wouldn't get the additional casino space. So it was something that I found fascinating. That if there was a city that would be looking at introducing gambling, like a New York City or something, that they could go to a developer, or Miami, and say to the developer, okay, well, we'll give you a gambling license, but you need to develop, multiply that by 1,000 times whatever we give you in floor space to public space.
Right.
Yeah, definitely. And yeah, that it really seems like it kind of eliminates that seedy element, that you typically get around a casino. If they're, requiring you to surround it with family-friendly kind of things, it's going to, clean up the area significantly. So it's a pretty smart idea.
Mm-hmm.
It really was. It was brilliant. Like I said, they really take the best of the best ideas from around the world, and they came up with what they called the Integrated Resort Working Group, which was managed, and it was top CEOs and CFOs and government officials, which basically managed the development of these integrated resorts. So the other one there is the Marina Bay Sands, which I don't know if you've taken a look at, or they built multiple towers, and on top of the towers they put a park at 80 stories up, and it's
Wow.
called the Sky Park, and it's amazing. And they've got a pool that goes around the edge of it. You just do a Google search for Marina Bay Sands, and you'll see what they did there. But that again was a multi-billion-dollar development, and they had the same rules around the casino development. You get X amount of casino space, and they had to open up a world-class modern art museum. They opened up a Lion King theater. huge high-end mall. Just a lot of great, space. They have gardens there that are pretty incredible, the botanical gardens. So yeah, they've done it right. They've certainly managed the development in the proper way.
There seems to be, I think, like the Far East and the Asian market seems to be the biggest development sort of plots at the moment, with like Shanghai Disney and what they've done with Tokyo Disney Sea and all the rest of it. It seems to be that's the real market at the moment.
It'd be interesting to see if Universal, and you guys would know maybe better than I even on this, but there were rumors that Universal was going to go into Beijing, and there were talks that they were going to go into Shanghai, and I don't know where those developments are now, but it seems like it only makes sense, especially now that Disney is kind of full force going into mainland China.
I think the last park that I heard Universal were talking about opening was actually in Russia.
Yes.
Yeah.
As far as the Far East, I haven't heard anything for quite a while now.
Well, if they do, knowing how Universal is operating, they'll probably build it, very, very quickly, and they just seem to be doing all the right things right now and making all the right decisions. And I'm sure we're going to see more development down in Singapore. There's some undeveloped land on that property at the end of the Far, Far Away Street, just after our donkey attraction that has yet to be developed, which is by the Water World show, which that may be redeveloped area too. That takes a lot of space and could certainly be redeveloped to add new attractions. Maybe even a Harry Potter land.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. That could be exciting.
But it really was a fantastic experience. Everybody at working with DreamWorks very closely, and we still are working with them. We just finished a project with DreamWorks. They're doing an update to a land in Brazil at Beta Carrera, and we were helping them out on that project. So we've enjoyed a long working relationship since doing those three attractions over at Universal Singapore, and it was a great experience to have working in the field that way. I mean, I can't tell you, it was like working with all of these people from all around the world, and it was like a melting pot. It was one of the most difficult yet rewarding experiences I've had in my career.
Brilliant.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Well, I've got one last question for you.
Sure.
It seems that Universal Orlando seemed to be, I mean, you kind of mentioned it before, that Universal seemed to tend to market their parks more at the older, the teens and adults upwards, but Universal Orlando, with what they've brought in over the last year and what we've heard that's potentially coming in the next few years, seem to be aiming at trying to steal a little bit of that family market from Disney. Do you think there would be any chance that Madagascar ride would see its way over to Orlando?
Well, they were talking about it at the time. I don't know. The deal with DreamWorks, and that's always where it comes from, right? I mean, they own Despicable Me because Despicable Me is part of the Universal family. Yeah. It's a Universal release. DreamWorks is now being released through Fox Studios as their distributor. So and I know that DreamWorks controls their own IP and will license it out. So it's all about the deal that they can make if it would ever be seen in Orlando parks. I think it would be a great addition to add those characters, because, as you said, that would hit squarely in the market that Disney has owned for so long, and
definitely.
As we've seen, widen that demographic out, and it's going to continue as they continue to build the new Harry Potters. The parade, I think, was a good, and Despicable Me both were nods to the fact that they are still maintaining enough for that a bit of a younger demographic to do that. They can bring them into the park and not have or at least have a lot for the entire family to do. But I think if they brought something like that in, it would certainly help pull even more of the family audience over.
Definitely.
The footprint on that ride though is just so enormous. I don't know where they
really
would put. Yeah, it's really big. And with all that they're doing right now with Harry Potter, I think they have their hands full, but they seem to be managing. I mean, with everything from Transformers and the Simpsons land going, I mean, they're just seem to be hitting it on all cylinders.
Definitely. I mean, what I liked about the Madagascar ride was it's good to see an attraction that's more heavily based on animatronics. It seems to be, we've discussed it quite a lot on the podcast now, that it seems to be a lot of theme park attractions seem to be getting away from physical effects and going more into basically 3D projection screens.
Yeah, and it's a pendulum. I think it's going to swing back. I think there's something magical and special about figures, animated figures, sets and scenic that you can't get anywhere else. We can all go to a movie theater and we can all see 3D production. Now you can integrate the projection into a ride and create something that's very special. But the key is that you have to create something that you can't get anywhere else. That is special, that is unique. And I think when you're talking about animatronics, because they are so expensive and they're really, what are you going to do? You would never have that kind of stuff in everyday life. You just don't see that kind of thing. That does create something very unique and very magical, and people always love that. It seems like that's just time-tested stuff.
I think you're right. It does seem to be coming back into the fore a little bit with what Disney are opening with the Seven Dwarfs Mine Train next year, and then what Garner Holt have just done over with the Timber Mountain Log Ride over at Knott's Berry Farm as well.
Yeah.
Now, on the back of that, what I would like to see is a bit more of the human element coming back in.
Definitely.
Having that interaction. Yes. It's,
Poseidon's Fury for one. We talked about that originally.
What's the Disney in the land?
Oh, the Living with the Land.
Living with the Land. That was we loved that, and then they took the human element away from it, and it lost so much.
Disney have done that with a lot of their rides.
And it does make a big difference having an actual person there, and I'm hoping this is going to be realised by all the parks, and they're going to bring some more of this back.
The problem is it's all about if you pay for an animatronic, that's there. All right, you've got the upkeep of it, but it's there all the time. If you've got a real person, you're paying that person all the time, and that's what it comes down to, the bottom line, doesn't it?
And an animatronic is going to do exactly what's expected of it.
Yes.
Well, most of the time, anyway.
Over and over again. But I think, just like you see with T2, I mean, that T2 was 3D was a fantastic experience, completely unique, and I would have if I controlled Universal, which I have so far from that, but I think I would have figured out a way to bring an equivalent experience instead of ripping it out here and putting in Despicable Me. I think though Despicable Me is cool and it's a simulator attraction, it's a lot of fun and it looks gorgeous. There's something so unique about T2 3D that you could have, found a new property or a newer film and updated that experience where you would have live actors. Because even the pre-show, the woman who comes out and she kind of gives us the spiel of what is it, Technodyne or whatever the company is called. Cyberdyne, and gives oh super, her. Routine is just great. It's funny. It always gets laughs, and like you said, that there's a human element to it that makes it more real.
Well, I mean, we took our two kids on it back in 2009, and neither of them really knew anything about the films.
Jade was only 5.
Yeah, but still really loved the attraction. Even though the Terminator films are quite old, I think this
Right.
it's still a brilliant attraction. I'm so
Oh,
pleased
yeah.
it's still in Orlando.
It still makes me when the actual Terminators rise up out of the floor. I still have to look and just go, really? One of those could actually be real. I know it's not, but
Yeah, what kid doesn't like giant, robots?
Yeah.
And that was kind of the thing that was, the early on development on Transformers was that there was going to be, massive robots in there, and that was going to go into Singapore. It opened at Universal Singapore first, so it was actually being designed for Singapore. It wasn't being designed for the other parks.
Yeah.
Right.
Singapore actually paid for the development of that attraction. So, and what we have in all the other parks is really a legacy from, budget cuts at the Singapore attraction. The original attraction had, giant robots that would transform right before your eyes, and they had the same KUKA arms that were going to transform these robots that are running the Harry Potter ride system. So those ride systems, they had done a lot of development work with them, and they were going to put them inside, the different vehicles, and the vehicles were going to be able to expand out and turn into these robots.
wow.
And, it was really, everybody was, who was working on it was just saying how cool this was going to be. And, it just one day it came down that, they're going to cut all the robots. And it was just like another one of those, like when they ripped out the second floor of the attraction, one of those things where you're like, really? Yes. It's going to be a blending of all that media and live robots. And that would have been a really kind of a neat thing to see. But, in our business, we always say, well, the audience never knows what didn't make it in,
Well, this
They're
is
only,
true.
Yeah, they only get to experience what they see and what's in there. And so they're not going to be as disappointed as the people that designed it. And like,
Or the people that have just listened to this podcast and realise now that what's missing from us.
what? There was, and we were hoping at least that they would do one. I know they put like pieces of Optimus, or it wasn't Optimus. It was who's at the end? Isn't there?
Megatron.
There's some Megatron, right? They do have some figures in there, but there's no motion to it. There's no action to it. But just to have one, even at that last scene when Optimus Prime's leaning in and thanking the audience, that would have been really cool to have a real Optimus Prime.
Oh, man. That would have just blown everybody's minds.
Yeah, it would have.
Yeah.
So, but you know what? I mean, that's the world we live in, and I'm sure that what they're coming up with for Diagon Alley and this dragon sitting on top of the building. I mean, how cool is all this?
Yeah.
Is gonna
I
be
know.
To have a
I was looking at that concept art, going like, okay, come on, we're not really gonna have a dragon sitting on top of the building, are we? And it's
breathing fire in the middle of Florida in the summer. That's going to be warm.
Yeah. It is.
Well, I think we'll wrap it up there because I'm sure if we didn't stop, we
Yes,
could
we could
carry
go
on
on
all
forever.
night. But it's been an absolute pleasure to have you on, Brent. It's been
Really
brilliant.
has.
Well, thank you guys for having me. I'll come back anytime, if you
Please
ever need
do.
anything
Awesome.
else. And I really appreciate talking to you guys. And once again, anyone out there who hasn't given Season Pass a listen to it, not for Doug, listen to it for everybody else that's on the show. And
So yes, go and check out the Season Pass podcast. The
all
newest
right,
member
well,
of the
thank
Nice
you
Chat.
guys. Yeah, we're really excited about that.
Brilliant. Awesome. Well, thank you so much, Brent. As I said, it's been absolutely
It has.
brilliant.
Really enjoyed it.
Cool, and that will do it for episode 61. We hope you enjoyed it. We'd like to say, a big thanks to Brent for coming on the show. I learned stuff about Singapore, the place, as well as Singapore as a park. And a little hint, hopefully in the future we should be bringing you more Singapore content. But we shall see what the future holds. So,
I'd definitely like to go visit it now.
thanks for listening. Don't forget, we want you to go and check out Lex Wall's stuff as well as his podcast at Anything Goes. We were actually listening to one in the car yesterday. So yeah, if you like our theme tune music, go and check out Lex's stuff. Just search for Lex Wall on iTunes. That's LEXWAHL. Not much else to say, really. We'd love to get your feedback, so you can email us. We'd love you to get over on the Mice Chat forums. Hopefully those will be... Tracy and I are hammering Norm at the moment to make us moderators, and we get Darren on there as well. Darren, you need to get on the forums.
Mm-hmm.
So we are going to get them built up.
I need to go on
even
there
if
as well.
there's just the four of us on it.
It's not just Darren, I need to.
It'll be me, you, Eric and Tracy talking on it. But yeah, we want to start building that out. And also, we'd love to get your comments on our Mice Chat article. You know, when the show goes up, we have an article on there. If you want to go and comment on there, we'd love that to get... Obviously puts us in the shop window a little bit more. So that's it for the show. Our next one will be out on the 8th of August and will be our last show before we leave for Orlando. We have a show while we're away, and it's quite an exciting one. Would you two agree, guys?
Ooh, let me see now. Yeah.
I'm going to hint at it a little bit now. Sorry, Darren, I didn't get... Go on.
Yes.
Yes.
Very, especially because it's mainly me.
It is, yes, you're right. Because it's getting recorded. Well, the bits are recorded, but the intro and everything else is... We won't be here, so... but yes, anybody who is interested in horror, Halloween Horror Nights, and the general creative side of the parks will find the interview that we did in that show fascinating. And I will say all three of us were geeking out more than we probably ever have done.
Mm-hmm.
Just a bit.
So until the 8th of August, it's goodbye from me.
So good night, Internet, from me.
And I'll catch you later. I'm off to wet the little prince's head.
I always get sick flying backwards. Don't! Hey, I can see our car. Ah! You guys haven't seen a giant steel ball, have you? Ah! You don't want to hurt me, ball. We're both big, round, and never finished high school. Save me, tourists!
Well, that just about does it for another unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. We'd love for you to get in touch. So follow us all on Twitter at UUO Podcast, at UUOP Tracy, at UUOP Darren, and at UUOP Eric. Like our Facebook page at facebook.com/unofficial Universal Podcast. Follow us on Instagram by searching UUO Podcast, and subscribe to our YouTube page at youtube.com/UUO Podcast. Don't miss a show by subscribing to us on iTunes, and while you're there, please leave us a review. Not an Apple user? No problem. Just find the show at uuopodcast.libsyn.com and subscribe to the feed while you're there. Send us your spews, funny schmits, live reports, and any other comments at podcast@uuopodcast.com. And come find us on the forums and say hello at our partner site, micechat.com. So thanks for listening, and until next time, remember, live the adventure.
This has been a MicePod.com presentation.
Mice